Hey climbers, Coach Rozy here. Happy Wednesday workout. Glad that you're here. Hey, what we're doing today is we're gonna go into our total body flow. Something a little bit different today, but it's gonna be about a 15-minute workout that you can follow along with me. And it's really designed to help with your hips, your back, your spine, your shoulders, kind of loosen everything up. I always say from my nose to my toes when we're doing this. And so we'll start off, I'm gonna just start with some gentle mobility stuff, kind of get us moving a little bit. Then we're gonna move into some of the stuff for our hips and our spine, then we'll get into some of our shoulders, and we'll wrap it up. So literally it's gonna take probably about 12 to 15 minutes. If you can block off some time to do this, if you can want to do just parts of this once you watch, if you want to just do parts of it and save it, you can come back to it and use it once in a while. So let's just get going and rolling with our warm up and cool down. All I'm going to do to start with, I'm going to get on all fours, and I'm going to get in and we're going to do our cat-cow, right? This is a good one to start with, especially when we get up first thing in the morning. And I'm just going to let my belly drop to the floor and my shoulders drop down, and I'm going to breathe out. And then as I inhale, I'm going to push and think one spine or vertebrae at a time. I'm going to roll my back up and through. I'm going to inhale. And then as I let the air out, I'm going to come back down. Nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm coming back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to blow it out. For a 5 count, come back up. We're going to do 5 of these, gang, as I push up and through. And then each time, what I'm trying to do is push that spine up just a little bit higher if I can, to really arch and push that back through. As I drop down, I'm really trying to let those hips release, let those shoulder blades drop back together, and really let that inverted C come into my back. I'm going to do 2 more of these. And I know I maybe lose count when we're doing this. And 1 more, I'm going to push up and through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The big key with these when we're doing these, gang, is to make sure I am not holding my breath, right? I want to make sure I'm getting air in, I'm getting air out when we're going to do that. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm just turning this way and I can do the same thing. We're going to do what we say, we thread the needle. So I'm still going to be in my 4-point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left arm and I'm trying to drop it through, to thread that needle through underneath my armpit. I take my left arm underneath my right side, trying to drop that back side shoulder down to the ground. Then I'm going to turn and open. And I'm going to do 5 of those. And each time I'm going to try to open a little bit more. Try to drop that shoulder down a little bit more to open up through that shoulder. You're going to also feel it through that thoracic spine. 2 more. I'm going to go 1 more just for good measure. And I'm going to go to my other side. And you're going to notice, gang, one side's normally going to be a little bit more mobile or flexible than the other. You're going to be maybe a little bit tighter on one side compared to the other. You might have good reach on the one, but your rotation might be a little bit tight. So you got to kind of find where you're at. Your goal is to eventually where you can really, really open up and push and open that chest up and point that arm up to the ceiling as I'm coming through, right? And I always tell folks a lot of times, just follow that hand and that'll open your head and hips up. I'm going to do 2 more. Okay? So that's just called what we call our thread the needle. Then from there, I'm just going to sit same position. I'm going to do my hip circles forward and backwards. My goal here, and I call them sometimes fire hydrants. Fire hydrants, I know a lot of times more to kick. But all I'm going to look to do is I'm bringing that leg up and over. So if there was a little hurdle here, I have some folks here, they'll be right in here, which is fine if that's the range of your mobility. But if you have the capabilities and the ability to get that leg up and over, I'm going to go 10 circles. I'm going forward for 10, then I'm going to go backwards for 10. And then I got to go to my other side, right? Forward for 10. Here's the thing, what we want to try to do on this one too, gang. If as I lift my hips, I'm not trying to bend, I'm not trying to get more range of motion by dropping this shoulder down to get this leg up higher. Keep this arm locked and try to just open up to that hip. 4, 5, 6. I'm doing 10 forward, 10 backwards. And those 3 quick little exercises, guys, kind of just get the body moving, get you ready to rock and roll. Next one we're going to move into, which is going to be our flow block number 1, is going to be with our hips and spine. And so I'm going to just step into this lunge position, right? And I'm going to go into what we call our world's greatest stretch. So I'm going to step with my right foot, or for you it's left foot, but it looks like your right foot forward. And I'm going to drop back with my back knee, right? And then I'm going to put my left hand arm, my right arm up. So what I'm going to do is get it on like a hurdler stretch. So I'm going to be in this lunge position. Big leg is back, and I'm just letting this arm drop down and let this hip drop back to the ground. I'll turn sideways a little bit so you can see this. I'm just going to drop into this position and hold for about a 20 count. Right side, and I can feel that open up my hips. My hips have been pretty tight lately, gang. One of the things I know a lot of times when sitting really tightens some things up. We've had some football games with playoffs, college football games. We're strength coach for all those. Standing on the sidelines on that hard turf. We'll usually like a game, 1 o'clock game, just an example, I'll get there at 11 o'clock. We won't get done until like 5 o'clock at night. So standing all the time and just standing in a spot on the turf, literally, that almost hurts my hips sometimes more than if I'm sitting and doing some stuff. So over the weekend, and I know we're on Wednesday now, but this really helps to open that hip up. I got to go to my other side, let myself drop down, push that hip down and through. And if you find a stretch that you really think helps to open and gives you some relief or some mobility, if you want to hold that longer than 20, I'm going for 20, go for 20 to 30 seconds. I'm just showing that here, one, for partly because of time factor, but if you want to do it just a little bit longer, you can. And then the next one is I'm going to go up a little bit higher, gang, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a lunge, and as I lunge, I'm going to just grab here, and I'm going to rotate towards the direction of my lunge. I'm going to grab here, turn and rotate. I'm going to hold that stretch for about a 5 count. Come back. I'm going to step to the other side. Think good lunge position. If you need to, wider my feet are, the better the base, so I have more stability when I step into the lunge. If you can line that up a little bit more, it takes a little bit more stability to be able to get that. If I'm bending that back leg, push, turn, grabbing the outside, and I'm going to pull myself, turn and rotate. Should feel that in your lower back and your hip. 5 coming the other direction. We're going to do this 3 each side, and each time I'm trying to turn and rotate just a little bit more. Go to my right side. And if you're doing this with me, gang, I can feel right now I'm starting to get just a little, I'm starting to warm up a little bit. Not that I'm sweating or anything like that, but I can feel the body starting to turn and loosen up just a little bit. I'm going to go 1 more each side. Fighting a little bit of a cold here. Trying to get my vitamins, minerals. Weather's changing here, so before I get sick, I want to make sure I'm taking care of myself, right? Our immune system starts to break down. We got to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. Get that twist. This side's harder for me because this hip's a little bit more tight, right? So you can notice when I'm doing these things, I wish I was telling you I was a perfect model. I'm definitely not, right? Because I have some aches and pains too as I get older. But that's the key, is to make sure you do these things on a regular and consistent basis, right? So next one I'm going to do is, we call it just our dynamic hamstring stretch. What I'm going to do is I'm putting my leg out in front, and I'm just sitting my butt down and back. I'm gonna grab this toe, and I'm pulling back, and I'm gonna hold again for a 20 count. As I'm holding again, the more I bend this leg and push my butt back, the more stretch I'm gonna get on the back side. So I'm gonna go down and hold, pull that toe back, sit that butt back, try to go for a 20 count. If that feels good, and then if you want, you can go into a gas pedal the last 5 to 10 seconds. I'm just pushing that foot like I'm pushing down through a gas pedal and then pull it back through. That'll put a little bit extra stretch into the calf and even up into that lower hamstring. All work your way up through the leg, you're gonna be able to feel that. I'll go to my other side, bending my back leg, keeping that front leg straight, pulling that toe back, trying to grab that toe, sit back, try to keep this leg straight. Last 5 to 10 seconds, I'm gonna gas pedal, and I can feel that stretch really good up into that lower hamstring, getting all the way to my calf. Do about 10 gas pedals. And that's my dynamic hamstring stretch. So I don't have to necessarily lay on the ground, but I'm gonna move when I'm doing that. And then the last one we're gonna do, gang, is here for our cycle 1 is, I'm just gonna do my roll downs. And all I'm gonna look to do is, I wanna be nice and tall, and I'm just gonna work, take my hands down, slide down my thigh, and let my shoulders roll forward as I'm rolling down and through, and I wanna roll all the way down to my spine, and then I'm just coming down, let everything hang for a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna roll back up. Nice and tall, coming back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm hanging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll myself back up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Come back down. Roll, roll, roll. Let everything just loose and hang. Try to get, if you can, get to the ground, get to your toes. If you're only getting to here, that's fine. But kind of gauge where you're at. So each time you can go get a little bit deeper and a little bit lower. And then roll yourself back up. Breathe, nice and easy. Great job, gang. Then from there, gang, our block 2 we're gonna get to. And I got my notes down here. We're doing our shoulders and our posture. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I can either do this standing or seated. Okay, so the first one we're gonna do is, I'm gonna do my, and we did this one before, the scrap, squeeze, and reach. So literally what I'm gonna do is, I'm squeezing my shoulders back, screw my shoulders back together, and I'm gonna reach up over my head. Okay, each time I'm coming down. Squeeze back, bring those arms. Remember, we did this just the other day, gang. I did this seated position. We're gonna do this at the desk, but I'm gonna do this here, and I'm gonna do 10 of them. The key is here, gang, not to make sure when I'm doing this, I'm not in this rolled over position and just lifting my arms up. I want to anti-shrug, set my shoulders down and back, right? And as I reach up and through, I'm pulling my arms all the way back and through, so my shoulder blades come back together and through. As I'm doing this, 3 more. As I look to open up and do those things for my scap, Then what we're gonna do is, I'm doing what we call wall or floor angels. If you wanna do this in a seated or a standing position, I can do this along a wall. I'm gonna do it from the floor, gang. And our goal is, what we're trying to do is, I'm gonna get down on my back, right? And I'm gonna have literally, my goal is to have my wrists, forearms, elbows, everything's on the ground. My legs are gonna be bent. And all I'm gonna do is slide my arms up over my head and then slide them back down to about 90 degrees. You're gonna see some of you might have a hard time getting your hands all the way back to the ground and have the blade flat. You might be in this position as they come over, your elbows aren't on the ground. Your goal is to try to make sure that elbows, wrists, forearms, everything are on the ground as I lift and slide. So your goal is to try to push those down. If you're here, try to work to push those down. And for today, your goal might be just to hold at this position and really push everything down into the floor or into the wall. as you're doing this and maybe hold for 20 to 30 seconds. If you get everything down, I'm just gonna do those wall angels or wall slides as I'm coming up and through, and I'll do 10 of those. Okay, if you have a hard time, again, keep those just at 90. If your elbows are off the ground, try to work to push them down. Try to get everything to lay flat on the ground. And what we're really trying to do is look to open up that chest cavity, which opens up the shoulders and helps me set into back to a neutral position. So when I'm scanning, I don't have some of those pains on the things that I'm doing, okay? Then the next thing I'm gonna do, gang, is I am just gonna go overhead claps. So I'm gonna be face down here. I'll turn this way. And I'm just gonna go 10 overhead claps. I'm gonna be here, and then I'm just clapping behind my butt. And I've got 10 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And sometimes, again, what we'll do is once we get more advanced, we'll actually take like a 1 pound, 2 pound, some of our folks up to a 5 pound weight and have them do a 5 pound plate as they're doing their claps overhead. I would start out with no weights, just using your hands while you're gonna be doing this. Then the last thing we're gonna do, gang, is just it's just gonna be a chest opener. I'm literally just gonna sit back, if you don't have any knee problems, and I'm going to literally just take one arm, I'm gonna turn open and rotate. I'm gonna go 5 to the right side, 5 to the left side. And what you're gonna see is, when I sit my hips back, it locks my hips in, so I'm getting the shoulder and thoracic spine as I turn and open. So if I do this, I'm not getting any opening through the shoulder and my T-spine if my hips are mobile. So this is one where we want to lock our hips in. I'm pushing my hips back. And now I'm feeling that through my shoulder and my T-spine. Okay, I'm going to my other side. I want to rotate through, push my hips back, think my booty's sitting on my heels. Couple more. And that's some of our shoulders and posture. Last thing we're gonna do, gang, is to kind of just do a reset. I'm gonna do this, and I can do this again, seated, but I'm just gonna be on the floor, and all I'm gonna look to do is, legs are gonna be straight out. I'm putting my right leg, my left leg over my right leg, and I'm just gonna turn and twist. I'm taking some deep breaths as I turn open and twist and rotate. Hold. After about 10 to 15 seconds, I'm going to try to look back and rotate just a little bit more, putting pressure on this knee to help me turn and rotate. This will get my back, my lower back, and my hips. Every time I let air out, gang, when I let air out, I'm trying to get a little bit more stretch into the push against my leg and get a little bit more stretch going away from my body. I'm going to do my other side, right? Grab, turn, twist. I can take a little bit of pressure off, come back through. Turn open and rotate. Let yourself relax just a little bit. Come back to number 3. Relax. 2 more. And 1 more. Then the very last one we're fixing to do, gang. Fixing. That's my old Texas, that's from when I'm living in Texas, so some of you Texas folks, we're fixing to get this done. All we're gonna do, and this is an easy one, it's just gonna be breathing and reset. So all I'm gonna do is literally lay back, and I can do this anywhere from a minute up to 5 minutes. I let everything drop into the ground, try to push all my spine into the ground. From my shoulders, reset my shoulders, get my hips reset, let my legs just drop and open. My shoulders are gonna be in that position. I'm going to breathe through my nose, breathe out through my mouth. And again, I'm just going to cycle this, gang. If you want, after a couple minutes, If I want to lay my arms up over my head, again, try to make sure everything's laid out. Everything's touching the ground. I'm not in this position. So if this is uncomfortable, you want to find a position where you can lay and be comfortable for that minute to, again, 5 minutes, and just let everything set and reset. I'm going to kind of move and dance with my hips a little bit. I call it a hip slide, and then a shoulder slide. Just kind of give a little bit of a wiggle to let everything drop into place. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to just mentally clear yourself and get reset for the day. If you do this on a regular basis, gang, I think you're going to notice a huge difference. I know, again, like I said, depending on how long you hold those, you're looking at about a 15-minute workout that we went through. I know this took a little bit longer. This is about 20 just because I'm gibbering and jabbering. Once you kind of get the routine down, again, you can get done with this in about 15 minutes. So nice work. Appreciate you guys being here. Again, if you have questions, if you have needs, don't be scared to reach out and say, hey, coach, I was wondering about shoulder work. I've got some back issues. I've got some hand issues. I've got whatever issues it might be. That's what we're doing here, gang, trying to work to find solutions for you to live better, work better, right, and live pain-free. So, great Wednesday workout. We will see you on Friday. Make it a great one, gang.